Here we go.
That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me that shit, just let me go.
Yeah, broadcast live from Hard Europe. This is Badass. You can broadcast it out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tommy C. This is Out for the Point. We got Matt Pitt behind the glass and technicals. What's happening, bro?
Yo, what's up, Tommy C?
How's things going? I mean, you're the talk of the town, especially this week. Of course, you put out The Truth Behind the Sky House featuring Sky and ZeRo. And I guess my first question right off the bat is, why is a game that is meant to be enjoyed by my own 5-year-old son, by my 12-year-old daughter, just stock full of idiocy and degenerates? And this is not a slight against the game or every member of the community, but that thing is stock full of degenerates and weirdos.
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel you. I've talked to a couple people about it, and it's like, the difference is that online with this game is never as good as playing it in person.
Sure.
And when you go to these events, it's a mix of all these like kids and older people, right? So you just have those environments being kind of perpetuated. And then, you know, the housing situations, like they don't care if a 15-year-old's housing with a 30-year-old and stuff like that.
That might be a problem.
When you mix that with alcohol, shit is bound to go down. That's all I'm saying. So,
well, I mean, I think that's my only criticism of Sky. We're gonna get a bunch of people. They're all gonna be different genders and sexualities and we're gonna shove them in one place where you can barely move. And what could happen? What could go wrong? I think that's
what could possibly go wrong.
Well, I mean, but in fairness to him, we did stuff like that, you know. When I grew up in New Jersey, we used to go down the Jersey Shore. We'd get hotels, and we'd, you know, there were both genders, and I'm probably, you know, lucky I wasn't accused of rape at some point.
For sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, I mean, it in one sense, yeah, that he probably should have known better. It was guaranteed to go wrong at some point. But
it's definitely a bad idea, yeah.
But they're all young, and you know, we all make mistakes and stuff when we're young. And I guess that's where I want to go. I can't say this. The focus of Jisoo, is that her name?
Yeah, Jisoo.
Jisoo.
That's her
all
tag.
Right. So like, I've been, when I watched your video, I'm not. I mean, I know who Leffen was. That's about it. Because, you know, he's a big star. I was kind of cross-referencing with Nick, because Nick had been pointing out, I want to say even 2 years ago, a couple months after this whole thing went down, that the Sky has really taken the rap at worst for something else did, and there may be even more to it than that. And I think that's what your video said. It did the more to it part. How did Sky get wrapped with this sort of Jeffrey Epstein of Smash thing, when clearly, even before your video came out, clearly there is no connection to sexual impropriety in him, no direct evidence whatsoever. And it's just the accusation that he knew and looked the other way. There is literally nothing to counteract that. Why did that happen, you think?
It's honestly one of those like guilt by association situations. He had his name on the lease, right?
Sure.
So in some of these houses, in some of the iterations of the Sky House, it's literally a mansion. Right? Like there's a ton of people. Some of the stuff's happening at parties where there's like 50, 100 people, all this space, right? And his name's on the lease. So if something goes down and he didn't like whistleblow about it, it's his fault. That's how it works.
Yeah, I suppose, but that's not exactly true. So let me get this straight for the people that don't know, because I'm talking to people that are not in this MASH community. Jisoo was an artist, and she was dating a guy named, what was the guy, the person she was dating?
I don't even think I would say dating. I would say it was more like a genuine grooming scenario, and the guy's name was like Video Gamer, because he was like 10 years older than her.
Oh
Yeah.
God. I mean, oh, that's it.
And he's the one who should have got most of the heat, but the problem was that was getting kind of shoved off onto other people like Sky, because legally she didn't want to identify her abuser, and some other shit. So it ended up all the heat got on everyone else in the house.
So wait a minute. She didn't want to identify her abuser, but she has absolutely but she had absolutely no problem with Sky being not just criticized, because I don't know if you can even watch your video and say there's just like I kind of said before that there's not legitimate criticism to be had. Everybody's acting really immature and really stupid and not looking much past tomorrow, as young people tend to do, as I did, as everybody else, as most people would do in that situation. Then why was she so comfortable watching these guys basically being painted as predators? I mean, this is someone that claims to be an activist. We have a gay black man being painted like a criminal. What's her motivation other than, I guess, the normal, look at me, I'm important?
She never disavowed it. I don't know if you saw in the video, but I don't know if she deleted it yet either, but she made a tweet saying verbatim, "I love watching the slow downfall of my enemies," or the quiet downfall of my enemies. And she also made another tweet where she was complaining that Sky still wasn't deplatformed from like Twitch, his last like revenue source. Because Sky would, every once in a while, he would drunkenly like hit live, try to make rent because it's the only way he could get by. And then that would be it. And then, his anxiety would get to him and he wouldn't be able to go live for a little while again. Because what he told me was every time he'd go live is people would go in there and harass him, call him like Jeffrey Epstein, a pedophile, a rapist and stuff. And that really gets to you after a while.
So she's an animal, is what you're saying. She is a vicious animal. I'm sorry. I mean, how else? Am I really off here? I'd
agree that she's a little fucked. Yeah, I'd agree that. Yeah.
Well, if you do that, and you have some knowledge, and then of course your video comes out, she still hasn't apologized for anything, which nobody expected her to.
She's actively blocking every person that brings
everybody
it up.
says something. So yeah. Why can't I come away with it that she's an animal? That she is absolutely a vicious animal that is out to
I just don't know what you mean by the connotation of animal. I don't want to get wrapped up in anything.
Well, what does an animal do other than prey and destroy? I mean, that would be the definition of predator. The only difference is the payoff is the destruction of somebody. That's it. But I mean, maybe she's worse than an animal because at least an animal, that's a part of the way things go in the animal world. The tiger eats the gazelle, or the lion eats the gazelle. There's that's the natural order of things. This is even more vicious if you think about that, because this is she doesn't benefit other than her ego. I mean, well,
what I didn't understand was like the first live stream she did talking about this, like how to move forward as a community. She put Ludwig, out of all people, on the stream. And I'm like, first off, Ludwig doesn't know shit about any of these cases. Second off, how is he qualified to talk about any of this? He's just a big content creator. She just wanted the exposure, the extra exposure. It didn't make any sense to me. So
like, okay. Ludwig didn't cross his T's and dot his I's or anything. He just jumped on the...
Yeah, he was just there. There.
I interviewed, I don't know if you're familiar with Andy Signore. He was the second major Me Too after Harvey Weinstein. And to make a long story short, he came up with Honest Trailers, which was huge on YouTube for a long time. And we're friendly now. And I remember interviewing him and getting to the bottom. And we're talking about, it was a similar situation. He was cheating on his wife, right? But just any kind of criminal interaction, rape, right? There was zero evidence of it. In fact, there was evidence to the contrary. And I remember asking him seriously, it's like, so what's her motivation? Like, what's this? Because at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, look, something must have happened because this person really wants you to be ruined. And he says to me, he goes, "Which wanted more likes?" I'm like, what? That's just too simple. and no, that's what she wanted. Well, I go, she must have benefited. She must have got your job. She must have moved up. No. She didn't move up. She didn't gain anything. Maybe some quick financial support in 2017 when it happened. And I'm like, it's just to be a victim? And that's it? That's what you're telling me? And then over time, I looked at this person and I looked at this person and it's like, yeah, that's all it was. There wasn't a financial motivation, which it's not right, but it's understandable. There was no other motivation other than to be seen as a survivor of sorts. And that's what I'm really getting from her.
The thing about Jisoo is that she kind of exists on the internet because she's an artist, right? Like, so any increase in followers is a direct increase in her revenue stream because more people will see her content, and she shows up at conventions and she sells her stuff. She has a website, all of that shit. So any of that directly results in more revenue. I can see a reason to do it for that, but also because she did want to be seen as like this social activist and you know, speaking for the movement and stuff like that.
And all she did is put another black eye at Me Too, which really deserves to be ejected from history.
Well, the thing is that she muddied the waters for other housemates that had genuine criticism against Sky, because Sky was an asshole in the house. Sky did have shitty behavior. Sky does owe people money, but that got overshadowed by her because here she is going talking to Kotaku, Wired, going on 2 live streams, making it all about her and her issues. And it's like all of her issues are either incredibly exaggerated or don't exist at all. So
yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make it well. Kotaku, I mean, doesn't surprise me, but it does surprise me that, you know, you have these situations over and over again, and publications like that keep eating it up, and you get a guy like Nick Diorio that just, you know, gives it a once over in some cases. You know, just like, you know, the little thing you pointed out in the video where she said she was 15. No, you weren't. Not that it made it any better, but you weren't, and that's important. Those are important details to come up with if you're building a case against, and not even against somebody who legitimately victimized her. I mean, what was he, like 30 years old or something like that? I
have no idea how old Sky is now.
No, her victimizer.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vidjo. Vidjo was 10 years older than her, so he would have been like 25, 26.
26, something like that. Okay, fine. Has he been ejected from the community? Is he around at all?
He's been gone for a while. He used to be a top 10 Melee player, and I have not seen him around at all. I was trying to see if I could contact him and maybe, you know, get a piece from him, but I could not find him anywhere.
It's so interesting that wouldn't be her main target. Somebody generally took advantage of her. Now, she claimed that she came from an abusive home. Is that correct?
Yes. That's correct.
I mean, Sky was probably 22, 23 at the time, I imagine. And all right, I got this girl here. I don't know if there's anything's wrong. Look at her art. Her art's good. I saw it. And apparently she was also promised they were going to make a video game or something like that. And
she was working on art for a video game with the person that was grooming her.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how that situation came to be, because they both lived in Ohio together, and then they came out to Sky's house. But Sky never knew that she was coming along. That was never made apparent until weeks after she had moved in.
Okay. So it was, but so it was a circus in there. And what have you. Now, but Sky did know she was a minor, because I guess she showed some kind of, I mean, how was she able to get, where are her parents in this?
Her parents didn't, well, from her perspective, what she says is her parents didn't like really care too much about her. So it was very easy to get Sky to sign off on paperwork for proof of residency for her to go to school. And that paperwork actually made him the legal guardian of her for that duration.
Oh, he should have known right away. Go home. Yeah, he should have known right away. But, you know, he's probably rationalizing like, oh, she's being abused at home or something like that. Is there any evidence of that? Because I think, you know, now that we've seen this and she's flat out made things up.
Abuse from home?
Yeah.
I wouldn't attempt to even question that, to be honest. I wouldn't like go to
I mean, she's fucking Asian for a while. I grew up in New Jersey, and it was like the UN. The Asian kids had pain in the ass parents trying to make them fucking get A's, and if they get anything lower than an A, they were disowned. And I've seen this fucking behavior, and that's what I'm wondering with her. Were they just a pain in the ass? And nothing like that, because I think when you do something on this level, I think every other victim situation you've been in does come under scrutiny and question. I mean, you may not agree with me.
That's the problem with it. Like when she came up with the lie about ZeRo and Vanessa's age, she said that his girlfriend was 15 at the time that they started dating, and he was 20. But I Google searched it and instantly debunked it. So I was like, why would you ever throw that into the fire? Because it makes everything else you say seem like doesn't have a lot of credibility, and that's not good.
This is Vanessa right here?
Yes, that's Vanessa.
Okay, and I just to let the folks know that. And by the way, if you haven't watched this video, you're nuts. And make sure you check it out right away. I mean, this thing deserves 7 billion hits, if you ask me. So if I'm not mistaken, this girl came out and said that her story was used by Jisoo. And not only is what she said untrue, that she was never victimized by this person, ZeRo, correct?
Yeah.
In any manner. Are they still seeing each other or anything? So
I know that she's still checking up on him. That's
they're friendly.
She still cares about him.
Yeah, okay. So that happens. I guess that happens. But so Jisoo just took this girl, said she was violated in some manner. She wasn't. And had she ever taken it back or apologized or anything like that? I mean, this must have happened.
She apologized immediately after, but when she put it in the document, she said that if I need to come out with an apology for this, I will. But it was just basically saying it was just too good to leave out, because she was basically making like this whole laundry list of things on ZeRo, because she was getting heat for saying that ZeRo showed her hentai, and everyone was like making fun of her because it's pretty stupid, to be honest. I don't know why you would bring that up during a whole like
and no one's actually confirmed that happened. That's another thing I noticed in your video too. That was,
this is a cramped house. So the house that she lived in, 20 people crammed into a 4-bedroom house, and they shared their room with 3 other people. So you really want me to believe that no one else in the house has any recollection of what you're talking about?
Yeah,
like that just.
Well, here's another thing too. She's a 16-year-old girl living with a bunch of adults. One of those 40 computers are going to have pornography on it.
It was on the big screen television in the middle of their room, is what she said.
So now it sounds like bullshit.
Yes,
she made it up,
100%.
and she made it up with Vanessa. Why? It's completely reasonable.
People started asking for her birth certificate. It was essentially like Donald Trump asking for Obama's birth certificate, and it's like. That's why she has like PTSD from the issue, because she was harassed all over the internet, because ZeRo was now seen as like a pedophile, and she's attached to that story, so she's getting like secondhand harassment for it.
Why was ZeRo seen as a pedophile? Weren't they both of age?
Well, it's not just that story. This is something I'm going to go over in my next video. Okay. It's the Skype messages with an anonymous 14-year-old Katie. I say anonymous because they came out as anonymous, and he never actually confirmed who that person is when talking to them.
So we don't even know if they exist.
But yeah, there were sexually explicit messages between him and Katie. And she was 14.
All right, do we know Katie even exists? Because I went over a case recently that was like, actually, yeah, it was H.O. Delirious situation. Nobody can find this girl, and he was clearly set up on top of it. And we don't know if this is a girl or a guy or a joke or anything else. But Delirious is a pedophile because this apparently happened, and we can't even confirm who this person was, or nobody can even say a name or much less a handle. And not only that, this girl
right now, I just want to confirm it.
What's that?
I just want to confirm. I just want to confirm
it. Confirm it. Well, I wonder if they exist. That's what I'm questioning everything in this situation. It just seems, really, really dirty. Now I want to get into you and your video, because I think I sold your video enough. If you don't want to see Technical's videos, first of all, you're crazy. What? All right. Kind of circling back. I imagine you are hated in this community, correct?
Very much so, yes.
What are the kind of, like, what have all these tolerant progressive types called you, the names and what you've been accused of over the years? I'm interested in this.
I get called Keemstar a lot recently. After Keemstar tweeted out that I was hilarious, it's gotten worse. That's whatever. I've been called Ben Shapiro a lot. I went through like a 2019 phase, where Change My Mind was really amping up, and I was like getting on that wave. But I'm not.
Do you consider yourself a right winger or right leaning or center right or anything like that?
I think labels are kind of stupid because it makes you bat for a team, and then you stop critically thinking about both sides. So,
well, yeah, but you can also make the argument that if you're not, like, you're not above it either. So, like, when I say I don't understand what you mean, but when I say I'm right or right thing, that's my ideology. That doesn't mean I'm like, go Republican Party, yay team. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, but I
feel like that's how it would get misconstrued if I tell you like, I'm a liberal or something. Because I view myself as somewhat of like a comedian online, and I don't want to have my politics overshadow whatever I'm doing to entertain people.
You're smart. So like keep them guessing. Keep keeping guessing.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. My dad, I grew up in a very political family, and it was religion to watch This Week with David Brinkley. Like everybody got around the TV on Sunday. It's This Week in David Brinkley. My dad always said about David Brinkley, he goes, I've been watching this guy like 30 years and I don't know how he votes. And I think that's why the show was so dominant over the year, because you always had to kind of guess like where Brinkley was, because he was so fair. So no, I get that from a comedic standpoint. Yeah, if you come out and say, yeah, I kind of like Ben Shapiro, then you lose the left audience. Or you come out and say you like AOC, then you lose the right audience. And that's not what you're there for. You're there
it's very polarizing. Yeah, so I've just like moved away from that in the past like 2 years. I try not to be super political with my points, but you know, I will yell about some topic or issue that I see online, but that doesn't automatically mean I'm conservative or I'm liberal. Well, I just think that's
just because I think most people kind of share both wings, in depending on the issue. I think that's common as hell. I think what happens is you know, I also got, when I was younger, even younger than you, and maybe all through my 20s, so you're smarter than I am. You know, it did feel like a go team thing. And that's not an ideology. That's just, you know, rooting for the New York Rangers to win the Stanley Cup. Woo! So-and-so won the presidency. You know, so what'd you get? You know, nothing.
Yeah, then you realize he's also shitty. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of, you're wise beyond on your years. So I was actually expecting you, man. It's like it never got racial. It was just Keemstar.
I've been called Black Idubbbz a lot, but that's because Idubbbz is
that's
like
a compliment, though. That's
exactly. I don't see that as a bad thing. Like,
no,
what the fuck?
But I'm glad you brought that up. Idubbbz has been heavily influenced on you. I would even go as far on the way you deliver your speech. I really feel like I'm watching Idubbbz. Not that you're ripping him off, that you just took what's good about Idubbbz, what makes him an effective communicator, and you kind of project that on the screen when you're telling your story. I don't think that's the compliment.
I saw him as like the best at what he does when it comes to these things, and like I actually like studied. I never did editing. I never like made videos or anything, but I got into commentary because of this guy in my local Vegas community, JK, who was just like the worst person ever.
Really?
Yeah, and I couldn't get my points across in the community without being shot down. So I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to YouTube. And then I was like, all right, who's the best at doing takedowns? And at the time, obviously, that was Idubbbz. So I was like, all right, let's fucking go. So,
yeah, that's funny because I probably got in it because of Thunderfoot. He was kind of a part of the whole Gamergate thing back in 2014-15, and that's what got me interested in commentator.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
He was, and the thing was interesting about him, he's actually a scientist, and he'll let you know. No, Idubbbz is the white technicals. There you go. That's a nice question. Does this sound familiar? Alleged attempted vehicular homicide on November 25th, 2015. JK, is that the same JK? Was reported a large group of fellow smashers, including Charlie Dakin, S2H, and Technicals had tried. Listen, folks, and others to have tried to run them over with his vehicle. According to Technicals, they're coming out of a local tournament in Vegas when JK invited them to dinner in a restaurant. They declined the invitation, went for a walk. JK tried to run them over while they were still in the parking lot, with two people barely avoiding them. After this, a group of smashers went to confront JK, who allegedly admitted that he tried to hit them on purpose, and that he did not care if he or anyone else died. Due to this series of events, JK was banned from attending most tournaments in Las Vegas until further notice. You are a victim of an attempted vehicular homicide. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm kind of a hero. I'm like... No,
I mean, this is serious. Is this something you're uncomfortable about talking about because it's a close call, or?
No, at first, I like genuinely was scared to go to events. I wasn't like scared of cars or anything. Every time I saw a fucking red Honda, I wasn't like, oh shit. But I was scared to go to events because I was like, this guy is unhinged. I have no idea what he's going to do. But that kind of died over time. And that's all it really took. But it did make me uncomfortable.
I would say this. Was this person arrested? Because we couldn't find
they were only arrested. Even Keemstar got involved with this when it happened. They were only arrested after they started cryptically messaging people in my community. things like pow pow, bam bam, like he's threatening to shoot them and stuff like that. So they tracked him down. He was homeless at the time. I don't know if he's still homeless, but they tracked him down at like one of the local colleges, and they got him in for a little bit. I don't know
what was he charged
he stayed
with.
Away though.
What was he charged with?
I have no idea.
You didn't follow up on this?
No, because I had someone else, Lycan, follow up on that because he's one of the people that were actually messaged.
Really? But so was he ever arrested for? So he made the pow pow.
He wasn't arrested for this. No.
So he got away with this. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And on November 26th,
and he only got a 6-month ban, and then they let him back, and then he did more shit, and then he was gone.
Oh, now
I was so upset. I was like, "Fuck me."
I mean, this is a prime candidate for somebody to show with an AR-15. I mean, this has got all the fucking signs right here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, on November 26th, the same year, a day after the end, JK issued an apology. Sorry, I fucked up.
Let me back, please.
Dude, he literally did that. He literally did that. He had to ask us if it was okay for him to go to an event, and then he went and complained on Twitter. He's like, "What the fuck? I have to ask for permission for people that aren't even there." And I was like, "You bitch."
So you made a video on this guy, like doing what? Like, what did he do?
Yeah, I made a video about that situation I just described, where he goes on Twitter and complains because he has to ask permission to go to the event from the people he like almost hit with his car. I was so angry. I was so upset.
Well, you guys should have went right to the police immediately. I'm gonna be honest with you. This guy belongs behind bars. Well, how old are you then? 2017. You're only what? Like 19 years old.
It's probably like 18, 19.
Yeah, so you just out of high school. You probably didn't know how to
handle
it.
But he was homeless and then got addicted to drugs. So I think that's like that's like a big punishment of that.
You're top of the heroin takes care. But no, I'll be honest with you. Somebody should have followed through on this because I think I'm not pointing a finger at you. You're a kid. I know you're probably legally adult, but I'm sorry, you're still a stupid idiot at 18.
I was stupid.
Yeah, everybody is. It's nothing new. It's but I think when these kids go up and shoot up schools or somebody goes up postal, as we used to say in my day, you have like situations like this, like over and over. And it's like, he's on drugs. Well, whatever. That's it. Well, I'm glad you survived. Yeah, and he's he shows up at one of these events and says fuck it.
Exactly.
On November 27th, a day later, Sean Laz, another tournament organizer in Las Vegas, tournaments reviewed the situation after deeming JK's apology insufficient to Why is that the measurement stick? I don't know. I don't think it's like
tell me, dude. That's why I was fucking
That's what I do. I'm like, their apologies bullshit. Because by the way,
wait, after reviewing the evidence, like what? Shut the fuck up. You kick his ass out.
I don't know. We gotta take a look at it. Calm down, technicals. We have to look at his apology first, see if it's sincere. I mean, I am a connoisseur of drama apologies. I enjoy drama apologies more than I should, right? But I mean, to me, maybe this shouldn't be maybe the shot from the point, Keemstar scarce way of looking at things should not be like. It sounds like the T community decided whether this guy should play. That's what it sounds like. After deeming JK's apology insufficient to not truly apologizing to the parties in the incident. Shocking. Sean confirmed JK's indefinite ban from Las Vegas tournaments until he could prove he was mentally rehabilitated. How does one get the stamp of like, I swear to God, I'm not running anybody over. I swear to God, Dr. Dieterman says, I'm good. Jesus.
That's what I hate about Smash players. They're like, you need to go get help. Until you do, you're not coming back. And
you
it's
need
like,
a shower.
Okay, I just need a write-off from a therapist. That's it. Then I can come back.
All right, forget it. You need it. First of all, am I wrong here? And I'm sure you're a very well hygiened man. All right, what is it with Smash? And I think 2 years ago I covered it. There's a hygiene rule now, correct? Because it was that bad. Have you experienced the funk?
In some places, it might be worse. I know at a club that I used to run, that I was the president of, I had to institute a hygiene rule and bring Febreze because the teacher that had the room was like complaining about it so much. So I was like, guys, you need to wear deodorant. Like, you smell like shit.
Why like, what's the problem here? Why this video game? Why this particular game? Is it something to do with
because they're
the
like
connection
mentally
to
stunted? It's
Why?
like high school all the time because you're always around high school kids all the time. And the second I stopped playing Smash, I was like, wait, I can do things with my life and not waste my time.
And you probably could still play Smash and not waste your time as long as you're like kind of, I don't know, regulated or
moderation,
moderated or what have you. Did you ever have a shot at being a top tier player or?
I was number 8 in Las Vegas when I quit.
That's pretty good.
So it was all right, but like I was starting to destroy my wrist because I wasn't like stretching properly, and I just wasn't getting where I wanted to quick enough.
This motherfucker right here is bad for you. It is really bad for your hands. It is the only game I play where I have pain afterwards. Right? My son doesn't play on this thing. He refuses to do it. He plays
like, Daddy, my hands hurt.
Yeah, no, he just no. I'll tell you what he did. You try to think about this, all right? Because you grew up with this. I plugged it in for him, right? I handed him the stick, and I said, "That's the one you want because that's the pros play."
That's a lot of money, I guess.
That's great.
For a person
and then he goes like this to me. He goes, "Daddy, can you take this off?" What do you mean? No, take this off.
What's the wireless?
Yeah, yeah, like it's only. But he didn't know. That's the thing. It's like it made me feel old as fuck because this meant nothing to him. He didn't understand what the wire was necessary for to begin with. It's too funny.
The wireless is actually like the Wavebird is trashier because your inputs are delayed when it goes to the console.
You can't. Well, most fighting game guys. I mean, I have an Atoki arcade stick here. I mean,
you got a lot of shit in the background. That looks dope as hell. I'm coming over.
I suck. That's the worst part. Like, I've never really been good at a video game in my life. Or I don't know if I've ever been good, or it's like now that I'm online, I'm exposed to people that are like world class, and if you're not world class, you suck. I wonder that sometimes. I mean, eighth in Las Vegas seems pretty cool to me, but I come to think, even in the arcades, I sucked. I don't think I ever had that moment of more than once, and I think the kids around me were stupid. Like when I was a kid and you got hot, you develop a crowd around your arcade, right? And that's a really cool feeling. I really think the social nexus of the arcade is been lost tragically. The fighting game community is what kept it going to a certain extent, especially out in the
You
West
get that
Coast
feeling of people crowding around you as your match is going on, and just the hype.
Electric. Like we used to have this say like, you break the game or you own the machine or something like that, and then you have just one guy and he's just in the zone, and you can't I think everybody's had that experience playing video games. You just simply can't make a mistake if you wanted to. You're like so connected, and that's I think
you see some of these people, they're just like like right in the screen.
They're in there. Yeah, it's funny. So I got a lot of stuff. I had to buy a new monitor because I got VR and it took me a day to destroy something, and I destroyed a fucking perfectly good.
Oh yeah.
Wait, which one did you get? You got like the
Oculus Rift S. Is that what I got, Matt? Yeah, it's S. Rift S.
Something like that. Yeah.
Is that a good one? Like, which is the better one?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because it was a game I wanted. It was a workout game because I'm getting way too fat. I play too many video games. And I wanted to actually get a workout thing, but it's for the Oculus Rift Quest. Like, I have the Oculus. What the fuck? So I don't know if that's a good one or a bad one. You have to actually pay a monthly gym fee to this one, but everybody said it like the only one that actually really felt like a workout.
A monthly gym fee.
It's like a $10 a month, but the content's like constantly updating all the time.
Okay.
And then if you do 30 minutes here, you're gonna be sweating your nuts off. Whereas like they technically, what is that? Beat Saber. Beat Saber is technically a work game too, but
I could definitely see myself breaking some shit if I was doing a workout in VR.
Yeah.
Seems easy.
Yeah. Well, I was playing. So embarrassing, because I used to watch these compilation videos of these guys breaking shit. I'm like, what an asshole,
Yeah.
And I was playing, and that game still freaks me out. Super Hot in VR, and then I saw like kind of a fist above my face, and the idea was to punch, and I just jabbed, like I normally, but I didn't realize how I didn't need no guardian. I was like, fuck it, you know. And then all of a sudden, I heard it. I knew it was the monitor, and I'm literally lifting it up. I hope no black marks, no black marks. Like, oh, I gotta show this weekend. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
It's like the Brofist meme.
Yeah, yeah. The guy's like a real punch. Like, what am I doing? This is so stupid. I didn't really. I stayed away from VR because I thought it looked stupid, and I didn't think it, like, the VR I experienced as a kid, it was just never quite there. And now it's like, whoa, it's amazing.
I like did one of the VR things where it was a sword fight, and I like actually was like having a fight or flight. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh, it's gonna hit me.
Try a zombie game. I mean, even Alex, if those zombies jump in on you, you really like. You have to have the space, and you have to be ready. You know, to this day, I have the Spider-Man one. I don't like. I have a height problem. I don't know where I fucking got it. I have no PTSD. I didn't live in the Sky House. I don't like jumping off the building. It really takes me a lot to push forward to jump off the building to pretend to be fucking Spider-Man. Yes. Pale 10 Bus. Serious question for technicals. Who should be the last DLC character in Smash? Good question, because they just had the Tekken guy come in, today?
Who just came in and asked if I get pussy?
No, that was Peanut.
that was our donation sound.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck? Who just like came? Oh,
that's a donation sound effect.
Who I think would be the last DLC?
Yeah, who's going to be the last DLC for Smash Ultimate?
Okay, so there's been a lot of talks. I thought Sora would be cool, but then you think about how Disney treats their properties, and there's no way that you'd be able to stream and like distribute all this content with their characters. So I was like, that one's probably out. I thought Master Chief would probably be cool as fuck.
That'd be badass.
At this point, I mean, you already have Minecraft Steve, so you might as well go all out and do something else cool.
Yeah, I watched somebody play Minecraft game. They could put the brick right where you would try to get back in the ring.
Steve is annoying as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I got in the Smash? I watched Amp Lemon's Hungry Box documentary, and I thought it was one of the better sports documentaries, period, that I've ever seen.
Amp Lemon is really good.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, like, here's this weird community, and this guy, man. I mean, he's dedicated, and probably, I guess, still one of the most dominant players in Melee, I suppose. Flip it back. I did catch one of your videos. You found a real case of inappropriate behavior with kids that were underage, and the community seemed, and the community was like, that's the way I took it.
You talking about the Captain Zach video?
I think it was the Captain video, because I binged hard this weekend, so it was tough to keep all this stuff straight. Okay. So I'm kind of hoping you help me out here. You found a legitimate case, and the community seemed to be indifferent, whereas they were so they weren't indifferent when it came to Sky Williams. So can you explain this case to me or the audience? Like,
well, if you're talking about the Captain Zach case, before Nairo ever... Okay, let me explain the case first. So the current story, or the current narrative, is that Nairo was rooming or housing with Captain Zach, who was 15, and Nairo was, I believe, 19 or 21. I can't remember exactly, because, I go on these fucking binges, and I get a bunch of other information in my head. If you scroll up, It would be one of the more recent ones. The Curious Case of Captain Zach. Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yeah, here it is. I think this is it. Yes, I was halfway through it. So yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. So the accusation now, or the narrative now, is that Nairo was raped by the 15-year-old in this case, who has a record of using his relationships with the older members in the community to blackmail them, and then distribute that information, and then kind of twist the narrative online, and that's been proven in the past. So currently there's no like real guilty or innocent verdict on it, because they like settled on an agreement out of court. So I have no idea. I don't want to say this person is okay, but the one person involved, Sam Sora, he knew that it was illegal to know about these kind of things going on. Mm-hmm. Obviously, a 15-year-old shouldn't be sexually active with an adult.
Oh no.
And he actively tried to get information deleted because he knew it was illegal to know about it. And that's the issue that people weren't like. Was it
the black guy in this right here? I'm trying to.
Sam Sora, yeah.
And he was aware of the relationship and try to cover it up, is what you're saying. Not that
Yes.
this is the perpetrator, correct? Right here.
That's the older person in the situation. The perpetrator or the person who raped Nairo would be Captain Zach, who is on the thumbnail.
Okay, that's a white guy on the thumbnail, and this guy tried to cover it up.
No. This is the guy he was going to cover it up because he tweeted about him knowing about it.
Why did this guy try to cover it up? Like, what was his?
This isn't the guy that covered it up.
No.
Yeah.
What did this guy do? This is because he
So
apologized.
this guy had like a sexually explicit conversation about what happened between Captain Zach and Nairo, and that's what was weird. It's like, why are you talking about this with a 15-year-old when you're like a grown-ass man? And that's what people criticized him for. He tried to make the argument that he didn't know Nairo's age at the time. So I highly doubt that, but that's his defense. So I wasn't 100% sure on that because that's still like a he said, she said. But Sam Sora is the one who tried to get evidence deleted that he knew about it. He was the one that agreed to like a cover-up story with Nairo and Captain Zach for like 3 years.
So how did Smash react to this mess in general?
After the video dropped, they banned Sam Sora and he deactivated his Twitter account. And he recently came back and tried to say, "Oh, I'm moving on" and stuff, and never addressed any of my.
You're moving on, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but yeah, you're definitely moving on, pal. Away from
I'll say.
the gaming community
to greener pastures.
Yeah, okay, feel free, move. That's too funny. The other one, that's I think is your ESAM series, I guess, so to speak. ESAM is everything I hate about the internet.
Yes.
This is like, look, I mean, I don't know how you feel about this. I really don't give a shit. If you're a kid and you make a bunch of dumb fucking, even, I think a racist, I think is somebody, I hate this person. I think they're less than human than me. I don't think of a joke about watermelon and chicken as inherently racist. Like, I hate. Probably not a nice thing to say. Definitely criticizable thing to say. But I don't know if it's indicative of there's a deeper problem here. This is this is a future Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. ESAM is one of these guys that engaged in that type of humor, clearly. And he's also one of these guys that the most infuriating things I see, it's not enough not to be racist, you have to be anti-racist. And in translation, you have to be a foaming at the mouth fucking virtue signaling activist. And he's one of, and you destroyed this guy. How did he handle the videos with this irrefutable evidence that he's running around trying to cancel people just like him? How did he handle this?
Malding, coping, spurging. If you go to his channel, you can look up the video titled Accountability, where he basically calls himself a hero for standing up for victims and also apologizes at the same time. I thought it was really shitty. That's why I made a second video making fun of his apology video.
Yeah.
But and he doesn't understand how the internet works. He does all of these videos behind in front of a green screen. So I'm like, dude, you're just making it easier for me to edit. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
dude?
you should make it black and white and put him in a Klan rally. Yeah.
Anyone could do it.
Yeah.
You have to scroll down because this is a while ago, but or you could just.
But yeah, he's never actually apologized, and you're the bad guy. If I had to guess, right? You're actually the bad guy. You didn't.
I challenged him to a boxing event, and we were gonna throw $5,000 to charity, to whatever charity he wanted. He declined it 3 separate times. And he's never once actually talked to me directly. It's always been through other people. So yeah.
Even before you made videos on him, he never talked to you?
Never talked to me directly.
Is he still preaching the gospel? I mean,
No. He shut up. He learned to shut up.
Oh, well, that's great. Shut up and play.
Yeah.
I mean, is he a quality player?
Yeah, he's like one of the best Pikachus in the world.
No kidding. I don't understand.
Oh, there it is. Accountability on the bottom right.
Oh, okay. Let me hear this.
Hey everyone, today I want to talk about some of the mistakes that I made in my past and just a
I
lot
want to tell you what a bastard fucking technicals is too.
of things that you wanted to address, so I'm going to address them. You know, I did make a couple of apologies on Twitter, and I talked about it on Twitter sometimes to clear up some misinformation or when people would bring it up on my Twitch, but I never made a video talking about it like in its entirety, so I just wanted to make this video, so let's just talk about it. There's obviously several topics that I need to talk about.
Oh yeah, it's one of them. All right, you got ratio. I get the point.
He looks like the Wojak soy boy guy, like the meme.
Yeah, anyone that plugs that to him gets blocked. Well, I don't know if it's the Anthony Fantano one too, but it looks exactly like him. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's too funny. I just but it was your fault. I love that. What happened?
He actually lost his Nintendo representative position after all that happened, and then he went on Twitter crying about how he was almost homeless if he lost his sponsorship. And I was like, well, you never thought about that for everyone else you were fucking over.
Yeah. So who was he exposing prior to this?
Prior to this, there was one case where there was a 16-year-old or a younger person in the community, and someone was posing as them on Discord saying slurs, and he immediately, like frame one, retweeted that screenshot of someone impersonating him saying slurs, and then he went to sleep. That's one of the jokes, is he went to sleep immediately and never addressed how it was false until later. And then he said, "My be." He was all like, "My be. Oops."
Maybe I'm getting this confused, but didn't he accuse someone of sexual assault as well, like the Mewtwo dude?
No, but like way long ago, I think he accused Mewtwo King, or was, from his stance, he was reporting on it, but really just spreading accusations of Mewtwo King like jacking off and onto people's computers and stuff. And that's one of the,
Really?
And Mewtwo King's like defense was he was mutilated. Right? Or
he was
something like that?
circumcised very badly, and it's impossible.
Okay, yeah. I remember that.
What the fuck community is this? You're too good for these people, Tacticals. What are you hanging around these weirdos for?
Dude, it's free real estate.
You really thought you were going to get a boxing match? I mean, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Dude, I made merch off of that whole.
I saw. I went to go buy it, but you took it down actually because I watched a video when you're challenging people.
I made it, dude. I wasn't happy with the quality because I think it was drawn too thin, and it made it so it came off very easily. The designs. I don't know how Justin Wang does it, but he still works with Teespring. I might hit him up because his designs look fucking epic, but mine came out like shit.
Do you have an athletic background? I mean, you look like you're in pretty good shape. I'm not trying to be weird or gay or anything, but you look like maybe you're in the gym.
Do I have a athletic background?
Yeah. Do you are you a boxer or anything like that, or do you play football, baseball, hockey?
I did football for like 15 years. I did martial arts for like 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What position in football?
I was a running back until I got to high school, and then I was like a wide receiver and a
cornerback.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a wide receiver. So all right, yeah. See, you think it's how many Smash players played football in high school?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't want to dump on anybody because, look, I love esports too, and I think Smash is a great game. Apparently, I'm told that Willie Mac Show is the one that kind of found you for our side of the internet.
Willie Mac exposed me to a lot of you guys, and I really appreciate him. He's cool.
Yeah, he's one of the best. He just needs to make more content.
The first people to ever pick me up was Glink and Slush, though. I started talking to them, and then I got to know a lot of other people.
Honestly, I got to be honest with you. Probably, blowing smoke up your ass, but I think you're really going places. I think you have the talent. I don't know what's going to happen to be a million sub guy. No, it's just you have you have everything you need to know, but you got to keep your own nose clean too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm telling you. Don't hang around Smash tournaments ever again.
Dude, I'm straight edge. Their problem is like they're doing fucking like LSD and they're like drinking and stuff.
Are you 100% straight edge? Like no drinking? No
yeah.
Drinking? Oh wow.
I don't even drink soda because it's cringe. Yeah.
What about G Fuel?
don't tell me you have a partnership.
Oh, I wish. I should get one. I'm not as big.
How is it? Is it like
the partnership?
Does it have all the bad stuff that like monsters and stuff have, like Tom drinks?
I don't feel as shitty when I drink it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
In fact, I have to study German, and what I'll do is if I have to read something for a long period of time, and it's hard to read your second language, and I have a tendency, because I'm old, if I read something, you get that, you squint, and then, you start snoring off. I'll just have one. I think the thing, I don't know how bad it is for you. I'll tell you that. But I don't have with that shit. I also don't abuse it either. I'm not dumping 3-4 scoops in there and what have you. But it does seem to make me a little more alert. I did have one before the show. And yeah, I'm a little more on the game. I don't know how much damage. Apparently, it has shit ton of caffeine. That's a lot of money, I guess. But it has another kind of chemical that counteracts it. That doesn't make you feel like you're bouncing off the wall, and doesn't give you.
Try it.
Yeah,
I'm a coffee guy.
Yeah. Well, it's no worse than that shit. It's all right. Think of it as a really you go to Starbucks and you get that big cup of coffee. That's what G Fuel is, but you don't have the coffee crash. And there's no fat and no sugar.
Okay, this is getting too much of an ad for fucking.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, no. It's funny because we used to make fun of Keem and shit, and then I wanted to make a video just like goofing on it and like a taste test type thing. And we started loving this shit.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
I love it because I hate water. I fucking hate water. I hate water to death.
I need to know what your piss smells like.
What? Vitamins. Next time in Vegas. I'll let you know.
Nice and orange.
Yeah. But actually, in fairness, I am drinking. My wife got me a Brita filter because I like I said, I hate fucking water, and I bought my favorite thing. Literally, I'm getting fucking old. I got an ice machine, right? I love this thing. I think it's changed my life.
My roommate had an ice machine.
I love ice machines.
That shit is loud as fuck when I walk into the living room. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And it's just a fucking ice machine.
You hear that like somebody broke in, right? Yeah. I don't care. I love that ice machine. And then I really wasn't into water, but now I'm drinking more water because I got the Brita thing, and then I got the G Fuel cup. So I load the fucking thing with ice, and then I put and the water actually tastes like 100,000 times better. So and the funny thing is, Brita is a company that is literally right down the street. They actually make the stuff down the street.
If you need like customer support or anything.
They're huge. I mean, I remember they were that was the first infomercial I saw, like in the States in the 90s. They had they come on and they say, "Oh, we're going to tell you about this great new product, but we're going to give you a show." Right? No, the whole thing is a loop of how great Brita is, but it really is a good company. As far as I should really be getting paid for this stuff. It really pisses me off that nobody sponsors.
That's why I said we need to pivot back. We're like doing ad read.
So where do you see yourself going? I think the sky's the limit, and I have to also say, like,
was that a fucking pun? Was that a fucking pun?
Yeah, you're done. Yeah. Hey, that'd be funny if you crashed after that. Yeah, the sky really was the limit, huh? Yeah. So
I would never hear the end of that.
Yeah,
shit.
I know.
Oh
I know.
God.
So, like, where do you see? I mean, you're probably we're talking about it. We're probably gonna have to cross over to different types of topics, different types of areas. But your perfect position. This is like I think the beginning. I
wanted to do more mainstream stuff like this. The detective has always been a side character for my channel, but these videos are just doing so well. And like,
just do it then.
Yeah,
I like the North thing.
After this, I'm gonna do a mainstream thing with the detective, and then see how that does. And then, just go back to I do a lot of sketch comedy too. And it sucks because I can't do any of that right now. Because if you cut to a sketch in a video about abuse, you're never going to hear the fucking end of it. So I just write in jokes.
I don't know. I think it'd be funny.
I think it would be funny too, but it's less work for me too. So.
Well, I mean, it's one of the reasons I like that you break. I mean, I think you still have to, if there's another smash drama, I think you certainly got to get, but I do have a warning for you. I know you want to go mainstream. That's just the natural evolution. Don't do anything because you feel you have to do it, or it's like fucking getting hits. Really, be passionate about it. I mean, I know
people beg me to do shit all the time.
You don't. Only stuff you think is because that's one of the things I think the reason I think Nick has been successful because I mean I always hear I know what's going on with Nick. I know what he's interested in, and he's always like really passionate about what he's doing. And I think if you just like, all right, Shane, they really do have video of Shane Dawson coming on a cat, you might not need to cover that. You know, you might want to let that one slide, unless for some reason you're really into it, then go for it. You know, but you know, it's something that outside Smash, then I think that's the way to go. Definitely.
I pivoted from Smash a long time after I did the ESAM thing, and that's why now I'm retroactively going back and fixing some of the stuff that I didn't pay attention to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I pivoted away from Smash for a while, so people say I'm like a Smash tuber. It's like, I tried to get away, but I came back because I knew I would fucking kill it, and, well, lo and behold, I'm fucking killing it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Well, we're about to let you go. We can't let you go like this. Would you be interested in pranking my wife with your college white girl voice and telling her that you ran away with me or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm
cool with that.
I totally want to do that. You know why I want to do it? We're going to think of something. We're going to really fuck my wife. Because I've been telling her, like,
me and you are gonna fuck your wife?
No, fuck with her. All right, you know. I don't know. You're pretty young. You live in Vegas. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. German girls like black guys, man. It's like a joke over here.
I've heard that.
Oh,
I've heard that.
It's your money in the bank over here. Yeah, money in the bank.
Every girl from Germany that came to America that I knew was dating
a black guy. No, there's something, and not only that, the men like black women. Like like all these like famous like German men, like Boris Becker and Dieter Brohl and all these guys, they all have they don't just have black chicks, they have the blackest black chick ever. You know, like models from Africa and everything like that. It's like a
are you into black chicks or? Like,
how the fuck do you do that? Are you?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Is there something you do to your voice?
It's all about the Adam's
That's
apple.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
Can you move your Adam's apple? I can't do that.
It's like being in between a swallow and then.
Okay, so you're not doing a high-pitched voice.
You're just doing like a regular voice.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's like a constriction in the back of your throat.
Oh, God, I wonder if I could. Yeah, see, I wanted to get my wife to see you do this because she was like, "Yeah, who cares?" No, I was like, he sounds like she was like a college white girl.
I have a story for you. So one time, my coworker was giving me a ride home from work. And I had no fucking idea that he was still on the phone with his girlfriend. So when I step out the car, I was like,
"Oh my God, thank you so much. I love you."
And I was like fucking with him. And the next day, he's like, "Dude, you have to like show my girlfriend because she thinks that I was riding with some bitch and I was giving her a ride." I was like, "That's not true, bro." And I was like, "Fuck, dude, I'm so sorry."
You gotta go
so I had to go on like a video call and like and show her because he got fucked up.
I'd call her. That's what I want to mess with. I don't know. Like, yeah, I imagine that happened. That's the first thing I think. Is like when I heard that. Like, the first time I heard it was on the Apologize to Sky stream, and I thought you were with a chick, right? And you guys were both drunk, and you were handing the phone over to her to say fucked up shit. I had no idea it was you. And apparently Keemstar felt the same way because he was like, "Get that whore out of here." You know? It's like, it was too funny. It's too funny.
People don't believe me. It's like I have to do it on a live stream with my fucking hands up, or they don't believe that I'm the one doing it.
Tactics, I really wish you the best. I'm definitely. I mean, I love a good exposed video. I love a great apology. I love exposed videos that result in horrible apologies that makes things worse. That's what I find entertaining. I've
gotten an anonymous tip of what she might be doing. It sounds like the dumbest shit possible.
Oh, great.
It's like, I'm just going to say it live. Like, someone tipped me off that she might be trying to sue me for cyber stalking and like violating her safety. Yeah. And then she's also trying to organize like mass flags of my content. And I'm like, that is the dumbest shit you could have tried.
Never work. Keemstar saw your thing. It's never going to happen.
It won't work.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. I hope she goes on a racist rant. That's what I'm praying for. See, no, God, how great would that be?
This black mother.
I can't wait. I can't wait. You're gonna see grape juice drinking for real. You know?
You want to see grape juice drinking? I'll show you grape juice drinking.
When what you do is that you'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, Dragon Lady. Get the fuck out of here." All right. Thanks so much for being on.
Thanks for having me on, Tom.
You're the best. Hang on after this because I just want to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you enjoy the show. Peace.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you bout to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she bout to catch a pedigree. Chi-town to King's home, slapping fives, black stones, 6 mile to danger zones. Bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated to evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop. I'm about
Talk like a chick. Talk like a chick one more time. Talk like a chick one more time. One more time, baby. Talk like a chick. Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Oh my god, Tommy.
Ah, it's fucking